Your intention is to actually resolve them. Why do you go to the street? Why don't you call a meeting of that organization? And this is why we are talking about orderly, responsive, and responsible government. Because the leadership is not about mounting platforms on the streets and calling each other names and shouting at each other and so on. Who needs a street conversation on the campaigns of 2022? I've often said in other platforms that if people actually wanted the truth about what happened in 2022 and so on, this administration promised us that they will form a commission of inquiry on state capture.
Yes.
And in that commission of inquiry, they would include a clause on the administration of elections in 2022.
Yes.
We have been waiting for that commission of inquiry, and that is what they need to do, so that we all go to KICC there and under oath, in the full glare of cameras and the country, we each say what we know and what happened. Some of that truth may be very devastating to some people. That is why people would choose this smokescreen confusion of all the time creating stories and all manner of stories. Let the truth be appropriated in an objective manner, not through street talks and so on. Sometimes when people want to hide responsibility, they will come up with all these stories and so on and so forth, so that it boils down to a match of who speaks louder or who shouts louder than the other. Is that really leadership? The answer, in my view, is no. I'm going to ask the Secretary General to talk about the payment of agents and so on, because as you know, that is not something we ought to be discussing about in 2026 as we prepare for elections. Every time we are approaching a serious time of responsibility, such as we are doing, some of our leaders, especially those aligned to the administration, resort to drama and stories and lies to camouflage and to distract from answering straightforward questions and so on. We are preparing for elections as it is. And if anyone has got concerns about those agents who are not paid and so on, should they then address who hired them? And why should it be a national issue? Why should it be a concern for grace and so on about which agent or as an ordinary citizen or a senior citizen like Kembi Gitura? Why should it be a matter we spend time on every day instead of focusing on the kids who are not in school right now because they have not been placed? The kids who are not in school now because their parents cannot afford the 9,000 shillings because this government cannot raise capitation. The people who have been suffered as a result of insecurity in the country. The patients who have no food at Kenyatta National Hospital or who have no medicine and so on. Instead of focusing on those issues, you are engaged in trivialities and petty things about which agents were paid and not paid. 4 years after the election. How serious are we? SG, if you have
I think he has said it. Our party leader was engaged in fundraising. And when he was doing fundraising, resources were being given to the party, Azimio Party, for purposes of being used for the purpose they were intended, including payment of agents. One of the individuals who is in charge of managing those affairs is the SG. And you know who the SG of Azimio is and was and is even today. If we had managed it well, there is every likelihood that Laila would be in state house alive, having secured proper medical attention when he became unwell. Tuachane na hii maneno, tuende kazi ingine sasa. Asante sana.
First of all, ladies and gentlemen of the press, thank you very much for finding time to be here. And I need to sincerely say we are a bit sorry to have kept you a bit, because you can see we are quite a number, and the time we allocated for the discussion, there are so many issues to cover, and it's spilled over. We are sorry about this, but anyway, we'll make this very fast as we go forward. As the Secretary General has said, the purpose of this meeting was to put together the caucus of Jubilee leadership to finalize our thoughts and plans on our action plan for 2026, which will be tabled before the NEC for approval, and then we commence activities this year as we count down to the general elections. I'm very grateful to the leaders that you see here and the others who have sent representations because we've had robust discussions on a number of things that we are going to do. When the NEC approves the action plan and the activities we have outlined, we will make it public. But we are gratified that we are growing as a party, rapidly actually. We have noticed the huge numbers of people interested in becoming members of Jubilee, those who are seeking to run for public office on a Jubilee ticket. It has actually forced us, because of the numbers and the interest, to now create a structure that we are calling regional aspirants caucuses and regional aspirants forums, so that we can reach out to all those who seek to be elected to public office on a Jubilee ticket. And we will continue this trajectory of consultations and engagement as we go forward. Finally, before we invite our youth leaders in the party to present our statement, we would like to say as Jubilee that we are a peaceful party. We wish all our fellow political players the best as we go forward. Our policy position and attitude has been outlined articulately several times by our party leader, His Excellency retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, first at the Special Delegates Conference on the 26th of September last year. We are not involved in any conflict with anyone. We are not interested in any conflict with anyone. And we are not interested in goings on in any party. We genuinely believe in multi-party democracy, and we would like other parties who compete with us to thrive, because that is how Kenya will achieve the democracy that it aspires. So those who are having various conversations of various kinds in their own parties, internal conversations and internal arrangements, we wish them well. The truth of the matter is that we have no role in those conversations, and our party leader does not have any role or interest in those conversations. We collaborate a lot with a lot of parties. As you know, we are members of the United Opposition. By a decision of the NEC, it's not an individual decision, by a decision of the NEC in Jubilee. And we continue working with all our colleagues and parties in the United Opposition very respectively, working towards a point at which we will discuss the presidential candidature and what will happen in our participation in the elections in 2027. And all that we are doing with full respect and understanding that in democratic practice people have rights to express themselves, have rights to belong, have rights to associate and engage however they choose to engage. Our party leader too, despite the fact that he's a retired head of state, he has a right to engage, he has a right to participate. After all, it makes nonsense of our claim to be a multi-party democracy if we are going to frown at the views of others or the participation of others as it was. So we would like to request our colleagues in the national leadership. We believe they have much more work to do that they need to spend time on, so that they'll spend less time on our party leader, stop attacks on our party leader, and stop dragging our party leader into irrelevancies, things that have nothing to do with him or Jubilee. Our party leader is focused on building Jubilee and working to build our party. And as you can see, we are growing. And I'm very, very happy that the numbers of our young people are stronger and they are growing. When you look at the list of aspirants and those who have come forward to seek support to run for office, it's very impressive. And that is the way we want to go. We want to grow that list even more as we go forward. And we are not interested in any conflict in any particular political organization. So please, let our party leader have his peace, rest as a retired president who has done his work, and continue to contribute to the country as he finds it necessary at this point in time, without being accused of this, that, or the other, or dragged into unnecessary and irrelevant arguments and conflicts and so on. We all want to focus on the future of the country and on how we will remake our country and restore our country back on the path of progress, as it were. We understand, we have been saying in our meeting today, we understand that the popularity of our party leader is very intimidating to some leaders in this country. He can't call a national meeting to tell Kenyans not to love him. They love him because of his track record.
Yes.
And I think those who are uncomfortable, some of them is because of their track record. So they could do better with working on their track record instead of attacking our party leader. I think that's enough for now. I'd like to ask our youth leaders. Our head of youth is Angel Mbuthia, but today
Grace.
my wonderful, strong youth leader from Nairobi, Grace, is going to read the statement.
The Secretary of Nairobi branch.